Hello, my loves. It's Mika. I am back. So I know the previous courses and series and videos has probably been gut wrenching for some of you guys. You've learned about the 5 pillars. And before I get into the breakdown of those pillars and addressing your issues portion of this course or series, I need to tell you all to seek and keep an open mind about professional therapy. These steps are important, but may be very hard to do alone. So you need a support system, at least 1 to 5 people who love you unconditionally, that accept you regardless. They may not understand your journey, but are willing to listen to you and be there for you and show you that type of support during this journey. You should be regularly doing your gratitude, your cups of joy, meditation, positive thinking, positive affirmations daily, right? On page 84 in the About Me journal, you want to continue your attitude of gratitude. You should do this daily and can date it for the day or even the week for each page. So pages 84 through 103 are gratitude pages. Depending on the weight of your load, you may need another or additional About Me journals or extra notebooks to journal how you feel. So I want to point that out for you guys. And I want to make sure that before taking steps forward, that you decrease your stress level as much as you can. You have a support system and make time for therapy. So seeking therapy is important. Support and professional assistance is vital. A lot of the information I'm going to be sharing with you guys, depending on your weight of the trauma that you're going to be facing when we go through the breakdown of the 5 pillars, so that you can build those pillars as well as build yourself. It's going to be a lot more peeling through the layers of you more in depthly and getting to that core. So I just want to mention the top 5 therapy types. I'm also going to link in the description the URLs, the websites I got some of this information from, 3 different sites. But the first type of therapy is psychoanalyst, like psychoanalyzing type therapy, psychodynamic type of therapies. And the psychoanalytic type of therapy is a form of talk therapy based on Sigmund Freud's theory of psychoanalysis. The approach explores how the unconscious mind influences your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Psychodynamic therapy is a talk therapy, and this means that it's based on the concept that talking about problems can help people learn and develop the skills they need to address them. It's an approach that embraces the multifaceted aspect of an individual's life. Another type of therapy is behavioral therapy. Behavioral therapy is an umbrella term for the types of therapy that treat mental health disorders. This form of therapy seeks to identify and help change potentially self-destructive or unhealthy behaviors. It functions on the idea that all behaviors are learned and that unhealthy behaviors can be changed. There's also cognitive therapy. It's a relatively short-term form of psychotherapy based on the concept that the way we think about things affect how we feel emotionally. Cognitive therapy focuses on present thinking, behavior, and communication rather than on past experiences, and is oriented toward problem solving. There's humanistic therapy, a mental health approach that emphasizes the importance of being your true self in order to lead the most fulfilling life. It's based on the principles that everyone have their own unique way of looking at the world, and this view can impact your choices and actions. Integrative or holistic therapy is an approach to treatment that involves seeking the techniques from different therapeutic orientations best suited to a client's particular problem. By tailoring the therapy to the individual, integrative therapy hopes to produce the most significant effect. Holistic therapy is a type of therapy that addresses the whole person. This kind of therapy integrates spiritual, physical, mental, and emotional forms of well-being. Its goal is to help individuals develop a deeper understanding of themselves on all these levels. So I looked at healthline.com, APA as well as the Light program for a lot of this information. And again, I would just link them in the description. So it's important for you to seek a therapist. Sometimes you might have to go through a few therapists to find one that you feel like you mesh with, that you can get along with, that kind of gets the type of approach that you need, and to talk to them about which approach may be best for you in your specific situation. To understand something, one type of therapy is not necessarily the only type of therapy for someone. So I went through different aspects of therapy: psychoanalysis, behavioral, holistic, integrative. So you can mix different types of therapy. You can have more than one therapist, but you want to start somewhere. And it's really important. And the reason that I feel so strongly about this, number one, I've been through therapy, right? And it's really important because when you're dealing with trauma, depending on how massive the trauma is, and the top traumas experienced from my previous clients, most of my clients, and this is in the order of I guess the most common or the popular issues that was presented when they would come to me is number one was ending an abusive relationship. And that abuse can be physical, but it's not only physical. And sometimes it's not at all physical. Sometimes it's mental, emotional, or financial. And there's other aspects of abuse, right? If someone is being controlling or overly controlling, if someone is abusing their power or position, it's a type of abuse. So sometimes clients will be dealing with mental, emotional, and financial abuse and feel that it's not physical abuse, so they don't look at it as abuse. Right? Because a lot of times we tell ourselves these lies and we try to be blinded to what's in front of our face and try to ignore things because of our situation or circumstances or environment. So the second thing that was more popular was people was assaulted as a child or an adolescent by a known person, like a family, friend, local neighborhood person. The third top type of issues that was presented was people was assaulted by an unknown person or a stranger. Another aspect of trauma was family dysfunction. A dysfunctional family can cause trauma. Don't pay attention to the typo. So put a Y with an IS. So having family that is dysfunctional and you've grown up thinking that's normal, and then you go out in the world and realize it's not, and then you get clarity on the fact that, oh my gosh, like I had a lot of dysfunction. I have a lot of misconceptions about people in the world, about men, about women. A lot of the dysfunction in families can alter what you really truly believe in and how your perception and perspectives are. And then you're trying to figure out that reality as an adult. And then having family issues, different family traumas, and different family delusions, which kind of goes along with the dysfunction of a family, right? So that all those together can equate for coping behaviors, right? People end up having behaviors where they're trying to find ways to cope, looking for some type of control, ending up with negative behaviors and questionable and sometimes dangerous behaviors. So a lot of times people end up with like abusing or overly addictive behaviors like shopping behaviors, sexual behaviors, porn addictions, drug addictions, alcohol abuse, and even hoarding. And there's so many other type of addictive behaviors that can happen that somebody can go toward, but this giving you clarity on the concern. So if we're not dealing with our particular issues and doing self-care, making healthy and positive decisions, then and seeking therapy and having support, then we can easily fall into that pattern. So of the negative and destructive behaviors, right? So we're going to be talking about issues, breaking down the issues, writing down the issues, facing trauma, talking about the trauma, writing down the traumas that maybe we experience, some things that sticks out. And in that, it's going to evoke some feelings. A lot of times people go through the 5 stages of grief. Sometimes people don't get past anger. They don't get past denial. They don't get past depression. And so I think it's vital at this point that I mentioned how important it is to not only have self-care, work on your daily care with filling your cup with joy, daily attitude of gratitude, daily positive affirmations, daily positive thinking, daily when you fill yourself with those negative thoughts and telling yourself those abusive or toxic lies, to adjust that pay attention to it, listen to your body, adjust that thinking, tell yourself something positive, do your affirmations. But it's also vital to have support of some type, someone, at least one person, and seek therapy. And if you're not able to afford a therapist, check with your local government to see if there's some options in your area for mental health. If you have insurance, check to see what is covered. If you're able to afford it, there's a lot of virtual or in-person therapies out there. You definitely want to seek them and indicate the type of person you are. Get an evaluation so they can try to match you with someone who would best fit you and your needs. You want to be able to go into these next videos with someone that can help guide you if you start spiraling, because that is possible. And I don't want that for any of you. And even with some of the previous videos I've talked about, a lot of times people just hit the surface. They don't really dig deep, and we're going to be digging a lot deeper in the next videos. But some people may have dug deep, and then they may have felt something that they couldn't control. And I would say if you started to experience that before this point, to take a pause, continue your daily self-care, but seek a professional to help guide you through these steps and be able to be comfortable enough to be open and honest. And if you can't be open and honest about the therapist, to the therapist, at least be open and honest with yourself to write them down, and then go to the therapist with your feelings until you're comfortable and open enough to be able to express what occurred with you or what stuck out or what the problems is, so that they can help guide you to addressing it. Now, the videos I'm going to have is going to help with that. Is going to have some support there that you can utilize with your therapist, but their therapist may feel like you may want to take another route. But these videos are going to be here when you're ready to come back to them. And these ones here on the podcast is going to be free. If you're in our course, that's a paid type of situation, but definitely ensure that you come when you're able to go through all those. If you're doing the course, it's a lot more detailed there. With the podcast, it's just more general, which is why it's really important to have a professional help guide you through it. So I hope this made sense. I hope this assisted you guys with the clarity before moving forward. Make sure you have a support system in place before going to the next video and addressing your issues and breaking down those 5 pillars on what it means, what it looks like a lot more in-depthly, and before going through those 5 stages of grief that I break down to later as well in the series. So thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you for coming here. You could be anywhere, and I am very humbled for you to be here to listen to the content that I've created over the years that's near and dear to my heart. Make sure you subscribe, like this video, or dislike. There's a thumbs down there too. Click on something for the YouTube algorithm, right? So this can go to more people. Comment if this video is helping you. Give me a heart, thumbs up, or something. Comment and share this video if you care. If there's people out there that you know that may benefit from the content that I'm sharing, share this with them so that they will have access to it, so they can go through the steps in their own time when they are able. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a great one.